our presentation. Well, mine. Did you not get a guide to tonight's proceedings? Not for I have my piece set. Hold on to that, but please remember not to open any of the documents until instructed to do so. I see you over there. Don't be sneaky. Close the documents at once until you're told to open them. Otherwise, we'll ruin all the surprises. Wow, looks like we have quite a full house tonight. I'm your host, Miss Penelope Chrysler Nicklin. You may have heard of me, the lone heir to the Nicklin family fortune. Or perhaps you've not heard of me at all. It's not important anyway. In fact, very few people know me all that well. I'm here to live a life of mystery. Speaking of which, this is why you're all here in the first place, is it not? So welcome to our little seminar. How to host your own murder mystery dinner party. Tonight, I shall be guiding you through my proven 15-step process for hosting your own murder mystery dinner party. And will not only be showing you these time-tested strategies, but we'll be showing them in action, as my guests and I will help you guide you through the process. Now, do we have any first-timers? Anyone here who's never hosted a murder mystery dinner party? Go ahead, try it. Don't be shy. Come on. Good, lots of you. Looks like we have much to learn, and that is most excellent. Anywho, it is my sincere hope that you do this subtle art of mystery and intrigue. When you leave here tonight, you'll have everything you need to know to make your next murder mystery dinner party the very best. Now, all of you should have guidebooks. Please remember, you mustn't open any of the packets until instructed to do so. However, you've all been provided with paper and writing utensils, so feel free to take notes along the way. Okay, then, enough with the formalities. Shall we begin? Step 1, setting the scene. Step 1, setting the scene. You can write that down. Step 1, setting the scene. And you may now open your first document, document 1. Right here. In your packets, you are going to find... well, that's perfect timing and just what I wanted to hear. You see, when setting the scene, an important part of step 1, establishing the mood for your murder mystery dinner party, is establishing the mood. So you're going to want to be sure to plan for a dark and stormy night. Now here are some backup staff. Some of you assistants will be helping me tonight.
Alright, come, grab the other end now and pull. And now to the table with it. Alright, now let's see. I've got about 4 inches on my end. How does it look on your end?
About 6 inches.
Then just a little tug should do. How about now?
About 5 inches.
And I have 5 inches on my end, so it's perfect. And since Miss Penelope requires perfection, make sure the corners are cut inwards towards the ends of the scene.
When setting the scene, careful attention to every detail is of the utmost importance. If you're taking notes, and you should be, feel free to take a moment to jot that down. Attention to detail.
Off with you now. We'll get the centerpiece. It should be in the conservatory. Miss Layton was shining it earlier.
Yes, ma'am. That is my housekeeper, Miss Gwyneth. She's been with the family for decades and is my most trusted companion. Which brings me to another show of hands. How many people here have their own housekeepers tend to the house? No? How about a butler then? No. What about a full-time groundskeeper? Oh well, you needn't have a house staff to host your own murder mystery dinner party, though it certainly helps. Without a house staff, you may just have to set the scene all by yourself. What's most important to know here is that your mansion should be a spit spot for all the guests. Jot that down, mansion, spit spot. Anyways, Miss Gwyneth worked for my father, and her mother worked for his father.
And I practically raised you, my dear.
Yes, and bless your heart, I was a bit of a handful in my younger days, wasn't I?
Just putting it lightly, my child.
What would I do without you? In fact, it was Miss Gwyneth here who first noticed my love for murder mystery dinner novels, and encouraged me to follow my dreams.
Well, it's like I've always said, dear, if you can't do what you love, then it ain't worth doing.
And so here we are, hosting our very first murder mystery seminar, with all thanks to you. Well, as part of setting the scene, any good murder mystery dinner party must have a compelling story. Tell them a bit about the family estate, Miss Gwyneth. After all, I have a bit of my own. Setting the scene still. It's supposed to be in the upstairs hallway, if you recall.
All right, of course. Well, like Miss Penelope said, I've been the housekeeper here for years. But this is Herbert Mitchell, my former employer and Miss Penelope's father. Now, if you are taking notes, keep note of always taking a framed portrait of of yourself or the family patriarch or matriarch. And make sure it is hung in a place where all your guests will see it, as it will serve as a reminder of the family's wealth and history. Now, Mr. Herbert Michelin was a steel baron back in the day, and was one of the 20 most wealthy people in the world. Times have changed, though, and the family wealth's diminished over the years, but it's still worth a hefty fortune compared to most. Why, this estate alone would go for at least $100 million, but there are many other fine things on the household. Take the china, for instance. It was given to the Michelin family as a gift from the Crown Prince, after Herbert helped him negotiate a very important deal with the Goodyear family. And as we are setting the scene for you and our guests tonight, such attention to detail is very important, which is why we are making sure to use only the best centerpieces, the best linens, the best china, all the best. Is this it? Ah, yes. This is the silver candelabra, but for you. It is actually pure silver, acquired from the Tagore family, the famous silverware. And to make sure the scene is set correctly, per Miss Penelope's careful instructions, it goes right here.
Is everything set in swimming?
Just about.
Good. We don't intend to dinner preparations.
Oh no, not she. She needs it for next.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Now, there's one final detail that must be in place in setting the mood. Can anyone guess what that might be?
Dancing?
Nope.
Entertainment?
No.
Music?
That's right, music. I'm glad you've been keeping up with your notes. And for that purpose, I've asked Miss Harmony Klein to join us on tonight on the keys to help us set the mood. Miss Harmony Klein, everyone.
Step 2, select your guests.
So once the scene is set, it's time for step 2, selecting your guests. Now, for the sake of simplicity, I've already selected my guests and we will introduce them in just a moment. But what you should remember here is that when selecting your guests, it is absolutely vital that each of them has a reason to be there and a reason to come. If they don't have a reason to be there, you must give them a reason, perhaps even creating a character for them to play and a script if necessary. I've asked our new maid, Miss Shelley, to introduce all of my...
Miss Sherry.
Excuse me?
It's Sherry, yeah, not Shelley.
Great, that's what I said. She's new here. Now, as I said, Miss Sandy here will go over the guest list with you. I've also invited Miss Gabby Reynolds to be here for this part. To go over the guest backstories included in document 2, which you may open now. Gabby is an acquaintance of mine who has a bit of a reputation as the town gossip, which makes her perfect for this part of the seminar. She knows what's going on behind the scenes of the town better than most anyone. If you know gossip, they will come in handy when you host your own murder mystery dinner party. Now, has Miss Reynolds arrived yet?
No, ma'am.
That'll be her now. Go ahead with the introductions, Miss Shelley. And be sure to take everyone's cell phones as they come in. I might have forgot to address that in step 1 when you set the scene, so let's call that step 1A. No, that won't work well in step 2, not really. So it's step 2A then. No cell phones allowed. Everyone knows that cell phones cause all sorts of problems when you're planning a murder. That is a murder mystery dinner party. If you excuse me, I have a few more preparations to make for our murder mystery dinner party.
You're just in time, Miss Reynolds.
So, are there any other guests arrived yet?
No, ma'am, but they should be here any moment now.
Good.
I am Miss Gabby Reynolds of the Grant Treasuring County. I have insight and perhaps a little bit of dirt to share about each of tonight's guests. So Miss Penelope has asked me here to help introduce them and give you some of their backstories. But also, if you are taking notes, you'll need them for this part of the seminar. If you have document 2 open, you can refer to that as, well, that will be guest number 1.
Let in our next guest, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Charlotte Beardguard, the celebrity.
This is Miss Charlotte Beergard, our local homegrown celebrity and star of the off-Broadway stage and small screen.
I do mostly independent films by important and up-and-coming directors.
Of course you do that. So you might want to make a note of that for teaching etiquette. Our guests aren't supposed to speak out like that, at least not in this part of the seminar.
I'm just making sure you tell your story correctly.
So you told your story yet.
We'll get on with it then.
I will. We have several other guests to introduce tonight, and you are not the most important one. No directions.
Fine.
The Michelin family has long invested in theater, and thus their paths have crossed often with Miss Charlotte Beergard. But the most interesting thing you need to know about her is that she is an actress who is full of ambition. She once famously and purposely contracted the flu days before opening night so she could spread it to a rival actor who she was understudying for. The most important thing you know about her is that her career means everything to her, and anyone who gets in the way of that becomes her enemy. You might want to jot that down.
Our next guest, Miss Jane William Esquire, the lawyer.
James William Esquire is the most prominent lawyer in the region. Some consider her shady because of her constant commercials and ever so convenient presence on every car crash in this small town.
Objection!
Overruled. She is the Michelin family lawyer. Then again, she is pretty much everyone's lawyer, given that she is the only lawyer. Like me, she knows everyone in this town. You might need to make a note about that.
Miss Venus Starship, the free spirit.
Don't call me Miss, I don't do labels. And for that matter, don't call me the free spirit either. We are not defined by labels, and our auras will lead us wherever they may go.
Venus Starship is an active advocate for a great many various issues, including vegetarianism, animal rights, extraterrestrial rights, ghost rights, vampire rights.
Don't forget transdimensional human rights for all of us who are able to transcend this dimension and travel among all dimensions across space and time.
Oh yes, that as well. Transdimensional human rights, among a great many other things that are not obvious to the rest of us. Venus Starship also coaches old yoga classes on the weekends and hosts a regular Wednesday tea time with lost and wandering spirits who are unable to cross into the great beyond. She is a wild card, and perhaps the strangest one of the bunch. She seems downright kooky to me, but your mileage may vary.
Miss Hannah Latest, the groundskeeper.
But she's not a guest.
No, I'm not a guest. I was wondering if leave the house was available.
We're sort of in the middle of something here. Can it wait?
Well, I'm not sure. There's a bit of weather coming in, you see, and
It will have to wait.
Hello, am I early?
No, you're just in time. They will have to wait, Miss Gladys.
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Jennifer Nightingale, the town's physician.
Dr. Jennifer Nightingale runs the most successful family medical clinic in town and is Miss Penelope's personal physician. She doesn't do house calls, but will do so for Miss Penelope. But only a few people know that Miss Nightingale is a little bit loose with the prescriptions. If the price is right, of course.
That is not true. You have members of my practice saying such things.
I'm here for a reason, to spill the beans. So can it, and hold your pose until it is your turn to speak.
Yes, my turn.
Oh, hello everyone. Just making a few time preparations for Mr. Jennifer. I'll be with you in a moment. Just act like you never saw me.
Miss Georgia Hemingway.
no, it's just me again, just the pesky old groundskeeper. Is Miss Penelope around?
No, you missed her, but you know we have a seminar to present and you keep interrupting.
Yes, I've been given strict instructions not to interrupt. It's just that the rain's coming down now, and I'm worried about.
So you'll go back to your duties, Miss Hannah.
You're supposed to set the.
No buts. We have work to do here, and Miss Penelope's work will not be disturbed tonight. You have been given strict instructions not to disturb, and you are disturbing.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're taking notes, you might want to make a note of that. It is in our program for tonight's presentation, and that pesky groundskeeper refuses to follow her strict instructions. But then again, you never know what will happen.
Miss Georgia Hemingway, the writer.
Where do I?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry?
No, you're fine, love. I just find it interesting that the writer would be the first one to follow the rules.
Did I do something wrong?
Oh no, you're fine, dear.
If I did something wrong, I'm open to making changes. Do you have any feedback for me? Any constructive criticism?
You're fine. Good. Don't get ahead of yourself, worry. You haven't done anything wrong.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But the night is still young. Anyway, getting back to our introductions, Miss Georgia Hemingway is a local novelist who has risen to global fame for true crime novels. Still, she's a sensitive sort. I suppose it may come with the job. That said, she writes true crime novels. Now, I'm not one to be judge, jury, or executioner, but she writes true crime novels. And you might want to make a note of that, if you know what I'm saying.
Pardon my absence, I'm sure you understand.
Yes, just doing my part, as instructed.
So you've introduced all the guests.
Yes, I have, except for
Well, it's for a later step.
right.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves or spoil anything. Speaking of that, did any of our seminar attendees open their packets too early?
No, not that I saw. Sorry, I can't speak today. Not that I saw, ma'am. And I was watching closely, per your instructions.
Good. We wouldn't let anyone spoil any surprises. After all, there's still much to learn tonight. Step 3, serve hors d'oeuvres. Well, it seems that everything is in order and we should move on to the next step. After all, this is not just a murder mystery, it is also a dinner party. So what goes without food, right? This brings us to step 3, serve hors d'oeuvres. This is the part where everyone mixes, makes small talk, and perhaps nibbles on a few sweets. And maybe some savory snacks. You may now open document 3, which will go over ideas for hors d'oeuvres. Feel free to skim over them as you nosh and maybe review your previous notes. If you don't mind, I have a few more preparations to make, so I'll take my leave once again. But I hope everyone enjoys the hors d'oeuvres. Give us a song, Sam. Ta-ta! Step 4, use your mark. Now that everyone has had a nibble and the mood is set, got your audience hooked, and your murder mystery dinner party is off and running. But we still have much more to learn tonight's seminar. That is to say, it's time for step 4, choosing your mark. In other words, who will be your victim? Which poor sap will be the one who dies? Does anyone know who it is? Who should it be? Does anyone know yet? Should we do a show of hands? That could be fun. Is it the doctor? Who thinks it should be the doctor? See, interesting. Perhaps it is the writer. Or maybe y'all wish to see the free spirit, Miss Venus Starship, dead. Perhaps it's someone else, somebody you haven't met who's waving hand at the door. Oh no, I'll get it. Yes, perhaps it could be.
I'm sorry. I know I'm not supposed to interrupt, but I must see Miss Penelope at once. Oh, you,
Well, this is not expected. What is it, Hannah?
It's the storm, ma'am. The rain's coming in hard, and I'm worried if we don't act soon, well, it's possible that no one will be able to leave if we don't leave now.
Leave? Why would anyone want to leave? What fun we're all having.
It's for says at the bridge.
Oh, don't you worry about that bridge. It's been here for generations. It was built by my father's father's father over 4 centuries ago. It's never once been a worry.
Miss Penelope, if I may.
No, we have an audience here, and we have plenty to learn about the subtle art of hosting a murder mystery dinner party. Now, thanks to you, we are off script.
Man, this is very serious. I'm certain if that we don't act now, the bridge will surely...
No, you will go about your duties, Miss Hannah. I assure you the bridge is just fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't mind her, she's never worried about that bridge. But I do hope you're taking notes on this. Anyway, where were we?
Oh, you were selecting your mark, ma'am.
Oh, yes. Right, let's see. Could be the lawyer. Could be anyone, really. That's my little secret, of course. We won't ruin any surprises now, would we? At least for the time being. So at this point, once you've chosen your mark, you've completed step 4. Let's move on to the next step now. Step 5, establish character and motive. So, step 5. In step 5, we have 2 main goals. Establish character and motive. You may now open your next document 4. You'll see that this is the part where you encourage small talk amongst your guests and find ways to get to know them better. This part, you establish their characters, let them speak for themselves. This is also the part where we get to know them better, and, well, I must warn you, it's the most difficult part of hosting a murder mystery party, but it's also one of the most important parts. You'll be leaving little hints about who the murderer might be and why they did it along the way. This part might always seem boring and tedious. That's just the trick. You must make it seem boring and tedious. It's where you lay the groundwork for your story, and, well, that being said, it might be a good time to take some extra careful notes. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? Give us something light. Miss Sally? Miss Sally? Miss Sally! Do you mean me, ma'am? Yes, of course I mean you. Who else would I have met? Miss Sally? Precisely. My name is Sherry. Exactly what I said. Now, Miss Charlotte, what is one of the ways we establish character?
Well, in your documents, you'll see that one of the ways to do so is engage in small talk with your guests.
That's right, Charlotte. If you're following along, you'll see that this is one of the many ways laid out through practice to establish character. So,
Right. May I get you more coffee?
No, I can't. It just kills the vocal cords, and these are my bread and butter.
Oh, here she goes.
Me. Me. Oh my, you see?
I thought you said that was your bread and butter.
Thus the importance of caring for the instrument. Better make a tea with lemon and honey if you would.
oh no, allow me to get you that seat. It would be my pleasure. That's better. Keep it up.
Any more drinks for you?
Yeah, keep them coming. Helps me seem inconspicuous, if you know what I mean.
Oh, great. Like eavesdropping on conversations?
Perhaps.
Is that how you know all the town's secrets?
Perhaps.
You're the town gossip, aren't you?
So they say. But don't you know it's rude to spread such rumors about people?
So tell me, Dr. Wisdom, what do you do for medical knowledge?
Well, I really don't like to talk too much about work, especially at social engagements like this. How's your daughter? Cambridge out here?
Yes, she is. But I'm serious. Are you sure?
Well, of course I am. It comes with the job, unfortunately. But hey, good for her. You have Cambridge.
And are you pleased with your country?
I mean, it's adequate, I suppose.
Just adequate?
Yes.
I see. Well, if you ever find yourself in a bind, I'm quite familiar with medical knowledge law, if you know what I mean.
Well, I'm not really. I mean, this is a dinner party, and I'm here to just recruit and companies. How dare you ask such a private question in such a setting?
I see. Anyway, here's my card. You know, in case you ever find yourself in a bind, if you know what I mean.
Right, thanks. Who knows? Maybe I need legal assistance before long.
You never know.
Right, you never know.
Oh, may I fill your drink, ma'am?
Oh, yes please, remember.
Nothing but ice.
Right, because I'm...
On a fast protect global warming. You mentioned it in your character notes.
That's right. But it's actually a pro-ice protest. It is one of my many missions in life to make ice and the idea of ice more welcome and comfortable with the masses. So if they see me consuming it, then perhaps they want more of it. So, nothing but ice, I say.
Ah, okay. Nothing but ice. Ice. Ah, yeah. You've told me a dozen times now. She'll have a glass full of ice.
Thank you, Miss Gwyneth.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, Miss Penelope is hosting the engagement. So all the ice is on her. You can have all the ice you want because she's on the ice. The ice is on the house, that is.
Bless her. Now that's a woman I respect.
So you're right, right?
Yes, well, you might say so. Mostly self-opposed so far.
But I'm still working toward...
Were you where the I am a sort of sage and screen?
Yes, I'm vaguely familiar with the work.
Vaguely.
Well, I mean, sorry, no offense. I'm aware of your work, but can't quite place you, if you know what I mean.
You must have seen me on stage as Queen Cleopatra.
No, sorry, I'm a novelist. I don't see very many plays.
Oh, so you're a novelist.
Yes, I mean, I have a few. Tough, I haven't hit the big time yet, but I'm still after it. Mostly dabbling around mystery, suspense.
You write suspense novels?
Yeah, I try to draw inspiration from other writers in the genre.
Of course.
You know, like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Stephen King, Mary Higgins Clark, and of course, the great Agatha Christie.
Oh, then you must have seen my most recent film, The Devil's Advocate. That was an adaptation of one of Agatha Christie's long-lost works.
I'm sorry, no, but Agatha Christie is a master of genre. I just love her work.
Well, this must be why you've never been published. You have no context for subtext or irony.
What'd I say?
Oh no, you have perfect love. Don't mind her. She's always like that. If you aren't gushing about her or fishing for compliments, she wants nothing to do with you.
And that's step 5. I hope you've been following along closely because someone is going to be murdered tonight. And if you're taking good notes, you probably know who it will be by now. So you must be moving along.
Step 6, setting the plan into motion.
It's now time for step 6, setting the plan into motion. For this step, we'll all continue to let the guests converse among themselves.
I'll get it now.
No, I'll go through that. Groundskeeper again, still worried about that bridge. Excuse me. Told you once, I
Oh,
Hello?
who are you?
Margot DiMarco.
Please come inside more. Warm up. This is unexpected.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your engagement.
No, it's fine.
Yes, please join us.
Where did you go tonight, Margot?
It's the rain. It was really coming down. And as I was traveling to my sister's house over in Frenchtown, a strike of lightning hit a tree. I swerved to avoid hitting it, but ended up stuck in a ditch by the roadside. There was no getting out, and my phone was dead. So I set out walking along the road. And that's when I saw your lights up here. I thought I might be able to use your phone
Oh, of course you can, dearie. I mean, as long as it's all right with the lady of the house.
if it is any trouble.
Oh, no, of course not. Miss Gwyneth, please show Margot to the phone in the library.
Of course. Right this way, Mr. Marco.
So sorry for that interruption, but we'll get Margot taken care of as soon as we can. In the meantime, we'll continue our presentation. As we were. So we seem to have an unexpected guest, and well, that certainly makes things more interesting. But I'm sure we'll have her on her way shortly. So we've got the plan back into motion. Step 6, setting your plan into motion. Now that we've established character and hinted ideas for motive, it's time to keep the story moving. This is where step 6 comes in. And this step, someone please deal with that.
Right away now.
Well, Marie, yes, step 6.
Well, the bridge is out.
What?
Huh?
I'm sorry to be the bad news, folks, but the bridge is out, completely washed away with this downpour. I'm sorry, but I tried to warn you, ma'am.
How will we get home?
Afraid there's no way in or out tonight.
Well, what?
I guess that just means we'll all have to get to know one another better, doesn't it?
Good news, help is on the way.
Yes, I was able to phone my sister, and she'll be coming to pick me up.
Well, it's gonna be a little bit of a problem.
How so?
Ask her! I'm sorry to tell you, ma'am, but the bridge is out. No help is coming and no one's leaving this place tonight.
What? Wait, Everyone back! Everybody shush! There's nothing to worry about. We have plenty of beds for everyone since it seems we're all we stay here tonight. So since we're all stuck here and have nowhere else to go, we might as well move ahead to step 7, serve dinner. Who's hungry? Everyone is hungry. Good. This is a murder mystery dinner party, after all, so let's get dinner served. While dinner's being served, talk amongst yourselves about what we've all learned so far. Maybe go over the steps we've discussed and share your own ideas. Or perhaps talk about your theories about who actors will be the mark for the presentation tonight and who will do the dirty deed. The scene has been set and all the clues are there, so I'm sure you have plenty of theories. That much said, I have some unexpected preparations to make, so go ahead and open your document 5, and of course, enjoy your dinner. Maestro, give us some dinner music.
Step 7, serve dinner.
Did Jane drop off the dinner?
Oh, yes, she gave it to the maid when she left.
Perfect. I'll have delivered to my office at 12 a.m.
Sure. I don't think the aliens is real. Or aliens are real. And we didn't even see them on the moon. It makes no sense.
Yes, I so agree. Venus, you are a genius. I'd love to hear more, but I must be getting to the bathroom immediately. You can show me in. Oh, sure. You got my watch in.
Nice work. We're going to check on time for little ones. If we're late again, it'll be bumped up to another 1,000. So watch it.
Another $1,000? Dearie, you're rich enough. Do you really need so much extra money?
Yes. Now make your rounds to make sure no one in the audience go ahead. No spoilers.
Step 8, always have a backup plan.
I hope everyone's still enjoying your little dinner party. But now we must move on to step 8. Always have a backup plan. And speaking of that, please forgive me for stepping away during dinner. I had to make sure plans were in place for everyone now that it seems we'll be staying here for the night.
That's the way Penelope.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you.
I made a quite myself.
Well, I'm glad your dinner was satisfying. That was, of course, the entire purpose for you all being here. But now that we have an unexpected guest and the voyage is out, we must make the arrangements since we seem to. So I want to make sure everyone is comfortable for the night, as we seem to have fallen into some unexpected circumstances.
Oh, don't mind me. I'll sleep on the floor if I have to.
Bless you, but my family, don't need to worry about that. My family's estate has many rooms and beds, so you feel quite at home here tonight.
Thank you. And I'm sorry to intrude.
No, that's actually because we must always have a backup plan. Miss Gwyneth, is everything in place with the seat?
Yes, ma'am. There are fresh linens on all the beds, and everyone has a place to sleep tonight.
Very well, let's not keep everyone waiting any longer.
Yes, the suspense is killing me.
Don't get ahead of yourself, love.
Get on with it.
You need to be impatient now.
I'm not impatient, darling, but read the room. Your audience is waiting to see what happens next. They're keen to learn about how to host a murder mystery dinner party, so give them what they're looking for.
Good advice.
You're right. Very well. Let's get on with it, shall we?
Step 9, the murder.
Step 9, the murder. Miss Sally, if you will help me out with this part of the plans, please.
Of course.
Now that our plans are in place, it is time to pull the trigger. Well, that is to say.
What was that?
Okay. No, we're not okay. The lights have gone out.
Miss Hannah at the generator, at once!
Yes, right.
Perhaps,
Keep calm, everyone, keep calm.
Keep calm.
We'll the lights restored as soon as possible.
perhaps I should go.
No, stay put.
Yes, just stay put, everyone.
Miss Penelope always has a backup plan. Maybe I should be going.
No. We have a nice, warm bed prepared for you, and
Miss Penelope?
I don't know about y'all, but I'd like to just get on with what was planned.
Yes. Let's just get on with this already. Don't we already have to do the murder bit?
Miss Penelope? Where did she go?
Oh my! What happened to her?
Is she? No, this wasn't in the script.
I'll call a doctor. I am a doctor, you fool. I'm afraid it's too late.
no, don't say it.
Miss Penelope is dead. I was here to set the mood.
Yeah, but you could show a little class.
If you ask me, I thought it was a nice dramatic touch. Thank you. I'm just going to be going now.
Oh, no, you don't. You're in here with the rest of us, like it or not.
Power's back on.
Well, thank you for that, Hannah, but
Miss Penelope's dead.
No!
So what do we do now?
We should cover her.
No, we can't do that. Somebody mustn't be touched. I mean, in case there has to be an investigation. She's right. If this was murder, then the crime scene must not be disturbed.
Murder?
That's right. Murder.
Who would? It's all right, dearie.
Well, we must do something. But what? Is this part of the seminar?
I don't think so. She's actually dead. This isn't 10.
The doctor's right. This wasn't in the script she gave us.
I say we improvise.
no, we must continue.
I can't argue with that. I mean, after all, life goes on.
So what happens next?
Why, the only natural thing.
Yes, the natural thing.
That's right.
I'm sorry, but I'm not following.
Surely someone must have done this.
So we do what must be done.
And that's exactly what Miss Penelope would have wanted. For us to move on and finish what we started. So, step 10.
Call the cops.
Step 10, call the cops. Sorry to interrupt, but I have to ask, what exactly is going on here?
Sorry, Will.
Why did you all type words like that?
Oh, not to worry, dear. You see, we're hosting a seminar on how to host a murder mystery dinner party.
But you all spoke at once. Who are you speaking to? To them, our guests. Oh. Hello there. So this is all just for fun?
In a way.
And she's not really dead?
Oh no, she is indeed dead. Quite dead. Extremely dead.
Oh yes, I get you. Call the cops. But wait, we can't, because...
The bridge is out.
Oh, is this part of the...
No!
What about that, you see?
Who could that be?
No one can come or go.
You'd be mostly right about that, ma'am. The bridge is surely out, but there's still one person out there.
Can I help you, ma'am? May I come in, Maureen?
Yes, of course. Come in.
Thank you.
Wow, quite a full house, I see.
Yes, ma'am. We are
hosting a seminar on how to host a murder mystery dinner party.
Oh, in that case, sounds very hard to interrupt, but you see, the bird is out.
So we've heard. That's for one person.
Inspector Enigma? This is Inspector Clara Enigma, everyone.
Oh yes, hello.
What brings you here?
She's with the local law enforcement.
Behind the scenes.
But you're not supposed to be.
Right, well, it seems the courts had the gradual tonight, what with the storm and all. So they called me in tonight for backup. I was hoping to set up the roadblock on the bridge block.
Just as I had warned.
And well, I was up stranded on the side of the river. I hope you don't mind my intrusion. There seems to be nowhere else for me to go tonight, so here I am.
Just as I told them.
Right.
Not that anyone ever listens to the groundskeeper.
Oh, this is good. Now what do we do?
I'm sorry?
It seems like you desperately in front of Inspector Enigma. It's quite convenient. In fact, a little too convenient, perhaps.
It's quite convenient. Contrived almost.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? She's in on too, isn't she?
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
In on what?
You see?
Yeah, I know bad acting when I see it.
I'm sorry, but I'm not following.
There's been a murder right here, Inspector. Don't play dumb. I can see right through you.
A murder?
Don't go off script. What do you know?
This is not a game anymore!
Yeah, I think the inspector might not have a script. Or she does have a script and is in on this too. All things to consider, she might need a little help catching up.
Allow me, Clara. We all came here this evening to participate in a live seminar on how to host a murder mystery dinner party.
Ooh, this is good.
Unfortunately, it seems the weather has stranded us all here, including this Margot fellow.
That's me, Marco. See, Marco.
Then the power went out suddenly,
And Miss Hannah rushed to the generator.
And power is restored.
and that's when we found our host, Miss Penelope.
Dead. What was that?
Oh, that was the pianist.
She's here to set the mood.
And she's doing a fine job of it. Give it up for the pianist, everyone.
So she's
Dead.
Yes, I pronounced her dead myself.
has the body been moved at all?
No, we made sure of that. Anyone who knows anything about murder mysteries knows that the first rule is you don't touch the body.
Is that so?
I mean, it wasn't me, but yeah, I mean, it's common sense, right?
She's right where we found her, Inspector.
And she has no previous health problems?
No, ma'am, she was fit as a fiddle. Isn't that right, Dr. Nightingale?
Yes, she was. They must have been murdered.
Ooh, this is so much fun!
Have a heart, girl. This is not a game. She was like a child to me.
I'm sorry. I just couldn't have known.
And all of you are here, is that correct? Yes, ma'am. Well then, there's only one thing to do next. Suspect everyone.
Step 11, suspect everyone. And that's the next step.
I'm sorry?
That's step 11 in our seminar, suspect everyone.
And you would know that because you're on this with the rest of us, aren't you, Inspector?
Or maybe she's just doing her job and it was just a coincidence.
Ha! You say that.
That's exactly what your character would say.
No, I mean, she's in on it too. Don't you see that? I thought you two out of all of us would see that.
Or maybe you're just saying what you wish to see.
Okay, let's not get our plans, people. I'm the inspector, so I'll be the one to sort this out. Now, who was in this room when the lights went out? Then it stands to reason that each and every one of you is a potential suspect.
And what about you, Inspector?
I was in this room, was I not? I was setting up the roadblock. So it could have been me.
Just what a murderer would say.
Perhaps. Still, it stands to reason that everyone present here is a potential suspect for Miss Penelope Michelin's murder. Surely there is no disagreement with that?
Silence!
Since no one here has an alibi, it only stands to reason that we should move on to establish motive.
Sorry, Inspector, but we've already covered that step.
Oh, you have?
Yes, it was step 5.
But that was long before she came in.
Yeah, she was out working on the bridge during step 5 and step 3 and step 1. Remember?
We remember!
Well then, we must reestablish motive. So, step 12, reestablish motive.
Step 12, reestablish motive.
This is
good, and we're sure she's not in on this.
Who knows?
This isn't in the script I got.
What if we all got different scripts?
There is no script, but there was a murder. Precisely. So it must determine which one of you was the murderer. It wasn't me, ma'am. Me neither. Just what a murderer might say.
We already did that bit.
But I like that. It was so dramatic.
Please, folks, let me do the inspecting.
Just what an inspector might say.
Well, brother.
Fine, yes. And as I understand it, no one was expecting this outcome tonight, so everyone here is a suspect, and no matter the steps, they must establish motive.
She's not wrong. If we're to figure out who done it, then it serves to reason that it must have been one of us. Any one of us.
Thank you. Now, establishing motive. As I understand it, everyone was here for one reason, is that true?
Well, yes, ma'am. All of our guests here tonight were part of a murder mystery dinner party seminar.
As was noted, so, that part being fully established, I surmise that everyone here must have thought that they might be killed tonight just in fun, of course. Is that true?
It was always a possibility.
As was established in step 4, choosing your mark. Any one of us could have been the mark.
Interesting.
No, unfortunately that bit was not included in our script. We only knew that we might or might not be killed, and we might or might not be the killer.
It was a very open concept sort of script, quite unique, if I may say.
Except now, all of that has changed.
Interesting. So what you're telling me is everyone has a motive, kill or be killed. Is that correct?
Well, except for the service staff, that is Miss Gwyneth, Miss Hannah, and myself.
And you know this to be true how?
Well,
I mean, you're certain that none of you were the mark?
I assumed as much, but now I'm not so sure.
So it could have been any of you, meaning you all are potentially suspects and have a motive.
No, not me, ma'am. I have nothing to do with this. I was not the guest list. I got stranded in a storm and came here for refuge and a phone.
I see, a wild card. And what was your name again?
Margot. Margot DeMarco.
Margot. Margot DeMarco. The Mark.
Oh, no, that's not...
And so that covers all of you. You all potentially could have been murdered tonight, so it stands to reason that you might have killed first. But we must move on to our next step.
Step 14, consider every possible loophole.
Step 13, consider every possible loophole.
What loophole?
I'm glad you asked. You see, there remains one demographic we haven't considered tonight.
And what's that?
The other guests.
Oh, them?
Yes, them. They were here at the time of the murder, were they not?
Yes, Inspector, but they were only here for the seminar. They wouldn't have...
Consider every possible loophole. Everyone in this room had opportunity and motive. Thus it stands to reason that any one of you could have done it. And now that I've had the opportunity to speak with each of you, I now know exactly what happened here tonight, which leads us to our next step, determine...
Wait a minute. Oh no, we are missing something. Oh yes, I haven't slept in the kitchen all week for nothing.
Step 14, serve dessert.
Well, step 14, serve dessert. After all, I'm sure this detective work has you hankering for a bit of sweets. Then, Miss Penelope would have wanted it this way.
Okay, of course, yes. Step 14, serve dessert. You may now open your final packets. There are lots of great dessert recipes in there, and I even wrote one myself.
While dessert is being served, and if you haven't done so already, take this time to fill out your ballots and make your guesses as to who done it, which is the next and final step. Step 15, determine who done it. Your server will be collecting the ballots as dessert is served, so fill them out right away.
Once dessert is over, all will be revealed.
Step 15, determine who done it.
We hope you enjoyed your dessert, but we must be moving along to the final step in our seminar. Step 15, determine who done it.
Well, you've all submitted your guesses, and you did very well, for the most part. Some of you were way off.
And as I noted, I have everything I need tonight to point out the killer. So let's get to it, shall we? It was Jane Wilma Squire, the lawyer.
What? Oh yeah? Well, there's no other way. She had to be killed, or else she would expose my secret that the car crashes were an accident.
Well, now you've gotten yourself in hotter water. I hope you have a good lawyer.
And you were going to be next. You were in on it too.
Okay, looks like this case is closed. Before we call it a night, does anyone else want to confess anything? No?
Surprise!
And that's how you host a murder mystery dinner party. We hope you come again soon. We're all just dying to see you again.